The Addams Family Revenge. I work in a movie theater and I'm currently on break. On mobile. Formatting. English as first language. Lego. My job is to check tickets, give menus and time for when people can sit. With all the movies out right now and a birthday party, I am slightly more busier. Plus I am in between Millennial and Gen Z, or as I like to call it, Z Millennial. The way I respond is different. As the cashier queue is increasing with large parties and people who have already bought their tickets come to me. This wonderful family comes up to me. I say they're a little early for TAF and that they're welcome to sit in the dining per bar area or seats down the steps. They say thank you and I say no problem. The mom turns around and says you're supposed to say you're welcome. I said no problem means the same thing. She gave me a look and said, I'm trying to teach my kids manners, so say you're welcome. I am looking at her, looking at me, looking at her, and she's expecting me to say it. Pause. Remember how I said there was a birthday party going on? Well, it was a kid's birthday party. Remember how I said the Addams family had to wait a little bit? There were still families coming in along with the waiting kids. By now, if you hadn't already guessed, those of you with kids know exactly what I did. Resume. I said you're welcome in the tune from Moana, which started a domino effect until they got seated. She glared at me as if she wanted to speak with my manager and I waved bye to her kids smiling. Be careful what you wish for. Dumpster scare. I work at a petrol station in Australia and we have a limited amount of room for car parks, the ones who don't need fuel. There are 4 parks right in front of the dumpster areas. The dumpsters have high wooden fences and gates around them, to keep them out of sight I suppose, but this means if a car parks really close to them we cannot open the gates to put out the garbage. There is always someone who parks way too close when we need to take out garbage. Often it is someone just stopping and checking their phone. Some see me with the rubbish and signal that they are sorry and move back a meter or so for me. Others just stare as if I am the scum of the earth. I've asked people to move in the past and most are more than willing. So I'm taking out the rubbish and there's a relatively expensive looking car real close to the gates. A foot or so. No way I can open it or squeeze through. I see the driver is in the car and give him a wave to get his attention. He ignores me. I go to his open window and say, "Excuse me, would you mind backing up a little so I can get to the bins?" He responds with, "You got plenty of space, don't be lazy." So that makes no sense on any level. So I shrug and move to the gate. I grab the handle and make a motion as though I'm going to wrench it open as hard as possible and smash it into his car. I hear an audible gasp and a honk as he panics and hits the car horn. I turn to him questioningly. "You said I've got plenty of room." He goes red in the face, starts the car and backs up a few feet. I open the gate and chuck the rubbish. But he must have decided he was done and just drives off. I will never understand human beings, I swear. College bookstore power tripping clerk. A few years ago I was heading to class to take a final in my music history class and forgot a Scantron. I stopped by the college bookstore, grabbed a Scantron and ran up to the counter. This is when I met her. Her was a mid-50s woman with wrinkles on her face that can only come with holding a constant scowl on your face for decades. When I pulled out my card she pointed to a sign that said $10 minimum. Yes, $10. The Scantron was about 20 cents. I can totally get a $5 minimum, but 10. Come on. Well, I didn't have any change in my pocket, but there was a take a penny, leave a penny jar. So I reached over and grabbed a couple of dimes someone was kind enough to leave. Her put her hand over the jar and said you can leave change but you can't take change. At this point I figured I could either get really upset or play the game she wanted. I told her I understood and that there were a few more items I still needed. I proceeded to go to the furthest corners of the store and pick up about $200 worth of small items from the highest, lowest, and most inconvenient spots in the store. I walked up to the counter with my basket. The entire time, her had a wicked smile on her face like she'd won. Well, as soon as I signed for the items I told her I'd like to return everything but the Scantron please. She was livid. People don't usually yell at me, but she completely lost it. She ended up calling campus police and the other workers. When the campus police arrived they informed her that what I did was completely legal. Her couldn't handle it but had to refund me for everything but the Scantron. The campus police told me with a smirk to please not do that again. I said yes sir and headed to my final. I was about 20 minutes late for the final but ended up making an A. Thanks for watching and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.